Listen close, my people, because this moment in history demands a fucking spine, a voice, and a goddess who refuses to whisper while women are dying. I'm standing here in the Gemini moonlight with the train starting, not as a spectator, but as a woman who has lived long enough, loved hard enough, and learned deep enough to call this country out on its own fucking lies. Let me start with the simple truth nobody wants. This. Not the abortion bans, not the arrests, not the funerals for daughters who should still be alive. But man-made laws continue to kill women. So I'm speaking up for America while America still screams the opposite. We're living through a manufactured nightmare by men, crafted by men in power who fear women's sovereignty and upheld by cowards who pretend the country is divided when the data says absolutely the opposite. So let me list a couple fucking receipts. North Dakota, one of the most anti-abortion states in the nation, and yet only 12% of the voters want abortion completely outlawed. 12%. 12%. That's not a mandate. That's not a movement. That's a fringe. Okay? North Dakota, okay? Let's move on to Kansas. A state redder than the planet fucking Mars. A place where registered Republicans outnumber Democrats nearly 2-1, and yet the Kansas poll says only 60% of them want zero abortion. I'm sorry, 60% want zero abortion. Only 40% want it. None, nada. Government out of the womb. Why are men trying to fuck with the sacred feminine? And that number is rising every year because once people see women suffering under these bans, then their eyes will open. So how many more women need to die? How many? How about Tennessee? Home of a ban so cruel it didn't even include an exception for the mother's life. Yeah, that's right. And still, majority of voters now identify as pro-choice. That's in Tennessee. Now let's move on to Mississippi. 45% of Republican primary voters, the hardliners, the party loyalists, want their abortion ban repealed. North Dakota, again, support for a 6-week ban dropped from 44% to 38% in 1 year. Republican support fell from 71% to 54%. These numbers are not opinions, you guys. These are the goddess's fucking receipts. They're evidence the people in charge aren't representing the country. They're repressing it. Men taking over women's bodies. And I'm standing in fucking Texas where a woman died 2 weeks ago because they wouldn't give her an abortion. So while men are repressing the truth, women are dying and bleeding. Let me tell you a story the goddess refuses to let go so quietly. A father in Florida watched his daughter miscarry and the hospital refused to treat her. She was left to get sicker and weaker and closer to death because doctors were terrified of prosecution. Are you understanding me? Doctors are not doing the job they were trained to do because they're afraid of man-made laws. When do we stop listening to laws that kill people and start obeying the fucking gut? The woman's boyfriend finally put her on a plane, bleeding, to fly home just to survive, and she just barely made it. Her father wasn't at a pro-choice rally. He wasn't a feminist activist. He wasn't there for politics. He was running the lights at an event. But the bans touched his family. The bans touched his daughter, and now the bans have his undivided attention. So only if it's your daughter or your sister it affects you? This is how it spreads, not through ideology, but through suffering, you guys. The longer these bans exist, the more lives they wreck. And the more lives they wreck, the more people wake the fuck up. I think the train whistle fucking hears me. Do you? See, Republicans know this. They know abortion bans are the most unpopular laws in America. That's why they're hiding maternal mortality data. That's why they're stacking committees with activists instead of experts. That's why they've started copying pro-choice language, saying healthcare and safety while they criminalize miscarriages. Criminalizing miscarriages. It's not bad enough you've lost your child, but now you have a man who wants to prosecute you for that loss. Fuck you. That's why they avoid the word ban. Why they disguise anti-abortion measures with friendly-sounding titles like wolves smiling from behind sheep's fucking wool. It's the same tactic crisis pregnancy centers use. Set up next to a real clinic, steal the language, and imitate the care. That's how you trick the vulnerable, guys. The GOP just scaled that hustle statewide. And let me be crystal clear. 47 and his little fascist cronies haven't said a word about abortion in months. And silence from a man addicted to attention? Come on. That's confession. He knows this issue is political death. He knows the country is pro-choice. He knows nobody wants this fucking nightmare. Adriana Smith. In the Gemini full moon, I call your spirit. Her baby Chance is not doing well. Adriana Smith. She did not die in fucking vain because men kept her hooked up for a baby who's probably not going to survive. So why? Why are Democrats still whispering? Why are Democrats still hedging, still afraid of the one issue that wins them fucking elections and is going to save women's lives? La mama tell you the truth. You don't win by playing defense when the house is on fucking fire. You win by naming the arsonists and ripping the matchbook out of the fucking fascist hands. We need to stop debating when the government should intervene. Do you understand me? The answer's simple. Never. The womb is not a crime scene. The womb is not a courthouse. The womb is not a political playground for men who will never bleed, never birth, never bury a pregnancy that ended too soon. Do you understand me? If you don't have a vagina, you don't get to make the rules about them. If Democrats want to meet America in the middle, they should sprint toward the truth. This country is overwhelmingly pro-choice, and even the reddest states don't want bans on women's bodies. Every time another tragedy hits the news, every time another woman dies, another family shatters, another law gets passed that punishes pregnancy like it's a fucking felony. What is fucking wrong with you, America? Nobody wants this. Nobody. Not the women, not the doctors, not the fathers, not the fucking voters, and not the states. So why do we continue to let men make laws over our bodies while we die? This isn't a culture war, guys. This is human rights crisis, engineered by a dying patriarchy grasping at the last threads of control. But hear me now, because I am the goddess speaking. Kali's here tonight. Hekate's here tonight. The matriarch is rising and the people are awakening and the receipts don't fucking lie. America has already chosen. The next question is whether our leaders will finally learn how to follow the people. Nobody wants this. Women do not want to die and suffer. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up, America. You're gonna keep letting your daughters fucking die? Is that the plan? You're gonna keep letting a fucking country oppress women, oppress the colored, the minorities. This is a battle of rich versus poor. And the womb is holy, not a fucking crime scene.